Your core energies today, Libra, are fear, spy, and fun. What we see right away with fear followed by rejection is a clear message, isn't it? There is some sort of fear of rejection over here when it comes to someone you are thinking about, or this could be someone who wants to approach you to make a move, someone brand new or someone from the past, but they are anticipating some sort of rejection. Now, what we see right here, it's something that is blocking the situation from moving forward. And we'll need to unpack this energy to understand if this fear is real or if it's just in this person's head. Is there a reason why this energy should be put aside? Or is there actually something that you should consider before making any sort of move or building any sort of expectation when it comes to this situation? We'll look into it. In the middle, we have spy and self-love. This is interesting because obviously we see it also in this card a little bit. It's as if someone is trying to look at the other person, their actions, but they don't want to be seen. They don't want to be caught looking. And so it's as if someone is hiding behind a facade of self-love, such as, no, I love myself too much to be rejected. I love myself too much to take a risk with someone like that, with an opportunity like this, but yet they keep looking at it. Someone here is rejecting this, but at the same time, they cannot move on from it, which is clearly a contradiction that we need to understand. Now, we end the core energies with fun, followed by friendship. So this is very interesting because what we're seeing right here is the opposite of the very beginning of these 6 cards. We see here the opposite of fear. We see fun. We see someone who goes for it and someone who relies on the environment around them. Potentially the truth of the situation is already around you. And all you need to do is open up your eyes to it. Look in the right direction so that you can make the right decision. So, interesting message. Let's see what this is about. Let's unpack these energies and let's find out more. All right. Well, the main energy for the reading is the 3 of Swords. So clearly someone here is deeply feeling that fear of rejection. And for some of you, this might have actually happened. You might have been rejected from this person, from this opportunity, if it's something you apply to and it didn't work out in your favor. And it's hard to give it another chance after being hurt like this. There is emotional pain here, some sort of separation, whether it is separating from somebody or from the version of you who achieved this goal, this dream, and instead you find yourself still hoping for it, but less and less every single day. There's something right here that needs to be worked out, needs to be worked through in order to get to the other side, which actually looks pretty good, to be honest with you. We do have beautiful cards here. We have Wheel of Fortune, the World, and the Star. So how much of this is actually true? So underneath fear and rejection, we have the Nine of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. We see here someone very guarded. I mean, look at her face. What we're seeing right here is someone who is telling you while you're approaching the gate, is looking at you while approaching the gate, and it's telling you, what are you doing here? What do you think you're doing? So there is a lot of standoffish energy in a way. And we need to figure out, better, you need to figure out if this is real energy or if it's coming from your fears, if it's a rejection that comes from your perception, you know? Because often we see reality and we see things as we are. No, not as they are. And so we need to figure out if that's the case so that we can move forward from it and make a move. Because right now the situation seems pretty stagnant. Now, the Nine of Wands talks about, gives you a message that it's saying you're almost there. This is a test. This is only a test of faith. This is just something that it's in the way in order to make you realize how bad you want this, okay? And so don't see it as a blockage at all. It's just part of the process, part of the journey. And it's up to you to go for it and really invest in this. Queen of Pentacles, major investment. And it's also showing how it's going to return to you. Because here we have something abundant. We have someone actually who is very kind. We have the opposite of the Nine of Wands, honestly. We have a kind partner, someone very nurturing. That's the Queen energy always. And something very comforting. And so again, we see that duality in this situation. And you will really need to dig deep into this in order to understand if the fear is coming from this Three of Swords or if it's actually something concrete. Now, in the middle of the reading, Spy and Self-Love, Wheel of Fortune, and the World. It's as if you're looking over at this opportunity, looking towards it. And you really are seeing a brand new cycle for you, happiness. You're looking at it and you're like, that's exactly what I want. That's made for me. That's my match. It's an extension of who I want to be for the rest of my life. And you might feel very lucky to have it. It's as if this has found you in the most random place, the most random moment in your life. But it feels like it's destined. And you know what? We'll see when we clarify, but this feels destined. It really does. It really looks like it is. And so do not let fear hold you back in a moment in which you're given something absolutely rare and amazing. So yes, it feels like a gamble because you're on top of the world on your tippy toes right here. And it's hard to find stability, to feel stable when you have those sort of emotions. But you need to find that stability, Libra, because this feels very special. This is everything you're thinking it is, 100%. But, sometimes we're given the winning lottery ticket, and if we don't believe in it, we will never go and cash it out. Because we're not even going to look at the results. We're not even going to look at the numbers that are being drawn because we're thinking, no, not me. I'm not the person who is ever going to reach this in their life. But you know what, Libra, you are. And this door is opening up right in front of you. What are you going to do about it? We have fun and friendship over here. And we see Seven of Wands and the star right underneath it. Look at the star right here and look at what you have inside of you over here. It's as if you go from moments where you believe that this is possible to moments in which instead you distance yourself from this. You protect yourself from this as if this is going to hurt you all over again. But You know, what we see right here, it's very important for you to listen to your intuition right now, because this is coming your way. This is right here. For most of you, this is already around you. And it's time for you to really believe that it's possible in order to make it manifest in the 3D world. And you know, the star reminds you that sometimes a breakthrough comes from a breakdown. 3 of Swords. And also the Tower that precedes the star. It feels like this is meant to happen. This was meant to evolve the way that it did, but not to scare you off. That's just a test. That's just really, it's there to teach you something, to teach you a lesson, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen at all. Yes, you might be experiencing a delay right now, but it's clear that with the star, you need to keep your faith, your hopes up, because this is going to materialize around you. 7 of Wands also talks about a challenge, you know, just like the test of faith that we were talking about earlier. And so there's this negative energy that it's lingering around you, whether it comes from you or someone external. Push it away, because what comes in next will revolutionize your life 100%. What you need to do here is pick and choose your fight, you know, because it feels like there is a lot going on for you, and you try to focus on every single aspect, every single detail of the situation, and then you're exhausted. You cannot take it anymore. And that's when you get stuck, okay? It's very important for you to focus on that. So the main message today, Libra, is do not get in your own way. Because even though the hurt and disappointment you've experienced in the past is very real, absolutely real, it's not going to repeat itself. You should use it as a tool to get even further in your life, not something that will make you feel stuck here forever. There is something beautiful coming your way. Are you going to move towards it or away from it? Okay, very important for you to realize that, to think about that. Now, let's get to part 2 of the reading, where we're going to look at the evolution of the situation in the future. How is life going to change once you let this in, you take that leap of faith, you take that gamble, and you go for this? What should you expect in the future? We're going to also clarify some messages in case we missed out on some messages that were important for you. And we are going to look into what you don't see coming, together with messages from your future self, okay? You can find the link to part 2 of the reading down below in the description for you. Also, if you need a personal reading with me, don't forget that every Monday morning and Wednesday morning, I select people who have watched part 2 of the video in order to offer them a free, 100% free, personal, live, 45-minute reading. You can find more details in the description box for you. Now, stay tuned for the upcoming preview coming right up after this. Welcome back to part 2 of the reading, Libra. What we have right here is the bridging energy taking us from this current situation to the upcoming events is justice. And what this is telling you, first of all, is that you need to take accountability for your own happiness. Very often we are easily lost in focusing on what's not going right around us. Well, I cannot do this because this happened, or I cannot do that because it's not the right time. I'm not the right person. Someone else is going to reject me. Someone else is going to make the decision for me. And you know, that might be true in the short term, but as long as you show persistence and as long as you don't give up, in the long term, it's not true anymore. And you need to really believe that. Otherwise, you know, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy, 100%. There is a saying that goes, whether you believe that something is going to happen or not, you're right. And so your belief right now, from what we see so far, is the most important element, the biggest moving force when it comes to this situation, okay? So let's start clarifying and let's see if we missed out on any messages over here. And then we'll look into the evolution of the situation in the future and what you don't see coming and messages from your future self. Oh my God. Seven of Pentacles and Wheel of Fortune. You really have nothing to fear right here, Libra. You have to go for this. Okay. So we do see with the